Day 128. Hi. Let's get into this video. Talking about these allergies. Like, it seems like allergies, people's allergies is getting worse, right? And I'm gonna play the video and then we could go from there. Because I had this discussion before a long time ago. Not too long. I don't want to say like that long, like maybe like 2 years ago, something like that. But let's get into this video.
Is anyone else getting allergies like way worse than before? Because I recently stumbled upon something very interesting. So there's a horticulturist named Thomas Ogren, and he found that many cities planted only male trees because they produce only pollen, so they're easier to maintain, versus female trees, which produce fruit and seeds. Problem is, without female trees to absorb all the pollen, it just lingers in the air. He said that this practice started back from a guidance in the 1949 USDA Yearbook of Agriculture, which they recommended, quote, only male trees should be selected to avoid nuisance from the seed. Now, fast forward to today, scientists are saying urban landscaping is to blame for prolonged crippling allergy seasons. Now, this is not ideal for most people, but great for big pharma. Zyrtec, one of the most popular allergy medications, is experiencing a boom in sales. In fact, analysts are predicting that the total antihistamine market is projected to triple or almost triple in the next 10 years. And guess what big pharma wants to do to help cure us from our allergies? Plant more trees. Okay, a couple years ago, Zyrtec started partnering with a group called American Forests to support tree equity in 3 key cities: Phoenix, Detroit, and Washington, D.C. The result? Sky-high pollen levels in Phoenix, the Detroit metro area, and Washington, D.C. Now, are they doing this on purpose? Claiming so would be promoting a conspiracy, which, of course, we wouldn't want to do. But what I will say is that for-profit medicine will never be designed to cure illness, but rather only treat the symptoms in perpetuity.
I'm going to run it back one more time, but then I'm going to pause it and just give insight, my 2 cents. But let's play it one more time.
Is anyone else getting allergies like way worse than before? Because I recently stumbled upon something very interesting. So there's a horticulturist named Thomas Ogren, and he found that many cities planted only male trees because they produce only pollen, so they're easier to maintain, versus female trees, which produce fruit and seeds.
So for the people who didn't know, because I found out a couple years ago, but yeah, there's male trees and female trees, and the female trees produce fruit, and they only plant the male trees, and it started more so in urban areas, mainly because this is what they claim, because cleaning up the female trees will produce fruits and stuff like that, and then it'll just be fruit and everything all over the place. I feel like that's bullshit, because today, let me tell you, I went to go get some apples today from Whole Foods, and I think I got I probably got like 7 apples, and it came out to $10. And I'm like, damn, why am I paying a dollar plus per apple? Why is a single apple $1? That's a color. Let me blow this up. That's a crazy amount for an apple to be $1. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. And I'm thinking to myself, it's funny because I was thinking to myself this, and then I seen this video today. But I'm thinking like, yo, because I know about the male and female trees, and I'm like, they really should just have more female trees, because they have some, like every now and again, you know. As a matter of fact, across from my mother's house, there's a neighbor who has an apple tree right there. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, man, they so greedy. I don't think it's just about the concern about cleanup and stuff like that. I think it's just capitalism. It's like, nah, we want to make sure we have to sell you food that you can actually just get by picking off a tree. But we're gonna plant nothing but male trees. Now they say that is you know, for the cleanup process and all of that stuff. But people over here damn near dying because the pollen is killing us. You can barely breathe. And then you got to put all these chemicals in your body just to be able to survive pollen season. And that's insane to me. And this is, hold on, let me read this comment. It said Phoenix needs trees. I don't I think it was a typo there. Hold on. Phoenix really needs trees though. The entire time we were out there, my son had no allergies. Now we back in Canada and now he getting allergies. Phoenix needs trees. That they said it was planting, but they only plant the male trees. Plant the female trees so they can have fruit, so people can have fruits. It's insane sometimes how this world is. Everything got to be about making a dollar. Things is natural. And then the companies like Zyrtec and stuff like that, Claritin and all of these different companies are just making a killing. And I guarantee you some of those companies have something to do with making sure that we only have male trees planted. So every time you go to a new development and they tear down all the trees, but then they plant new trees, and I'm sure they only planting male trees. I seen a video one time where they were about to bulldoze a tree. They hit it, and when they hit it, you just see poof, just green everywhere, just a cloud of green. And I'm like, yo, that's what we breathing in, and it's getting crazier and crazier. And I was reading some of the comments, and a lot of people from like the islands and stuff, they not experiencing that. America is just getting terrible with the greed and just making money at the expense of other people. Like we don't care about y'all suffering. But the wild thing that I don't understand, I could understand if you was doing, and I not really understand it, but I could understand if you was doing this and you lived in another country, but you like, yo, I'm gonna exploit this country and make all the money, right? But these owners of like big pharma and all of that stuff, y'all live here too. Y'all family have to deal with this. You got to deal with this. So I don't understand what's going on. Let me play some more of this video.
Problem is, without female trees to absorb all the pollen, it just lingers in the air. He said that this practice started back from a guidance in the 1949 USDA Yearbook of Agriculture, which they recommended, quote, only male trees should be selected to avoid nuisance from the seed. Now, fast forward to today, scientists are saying urban landscaping is to blame for prolonged crippling allergy seasons. Now, this is not ideal for most people, but great for big pharma. Zyrtec, one of the most popular allergy medications, is experiencing a boom in sales. In fact, analysts are predicting that the total antihistamine market is projected to triple or almost triple in the next 10 years. And guess what big pharma wants to do to help cure us from our allergies? Plant more trees. Okay, a couple years ago, Zyrtec started partnering with a group called American Forests to support tree equity in 3 key cities: Phoenix, Detroit, and Washington, D.C. The result? Sky-high pollen levels in Phoenix, the Detroit metro area, and Washington, D.C. Now, are they doing this on purpose? Claiming so would be promoting a conspiracy, which, of course, we wouldn't want to do. But what I will say is that for-profit medicine will never be designed to cure illness, but rather only treat the symptoms in perpetuity. Is anyone else getting allergies? Like,
my bad. I just played the sound and I didn't even show the thing. I just realized that. But that's my fault. I was supposed to have this playing again for the second time. But I was looking up something. So at the end of the day, Zyrtec, they said they're making more money. Zyrtec is owned by KVUE Inc. KVUE Inc. is publicly traded. Its shares are listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol KVUE. So though I don't agree with them, find that stock and invest in it. That's it. Find that stock and invest in it. Because, I mean, if they're going to kill us, they're going to do it regardless, right? They're killing us with this pollen. So you might as well at least try to make some bread off of it. I'm searching it right now. I'm telling y'all where how much is going for. What was it? KVUE. It's being traded right now for $24.06. And let's see, within the last year, the low was about $17. In the last 5 years, well, they They just started being publicly traded in 2023, about May 2023. They opened, they IPO'd at like, I want to say about $25 or so. It's kind of hard reading it based off of the, because I'm on Robinhood. And the market cap is 46 billion. Okay, so the 52-week low was $17.67. It does pay a dividend, so that's a good thing right there. So owning this stock will pay you out a dividend. If you don't know what a dividend is, it's basically like putting your money in a savings account, and each month it pays you, it pays interest on that money. So a dividend is almost like interest. So for owning the share, for buying and owning the share, every quarter, or depending, most companies are every quarter, some is every month, and every now and again you have one that's like every 6 months or a year. But for the most part, it's usually every quarter. So that's every 3 months. They'll pay you out a dividend. This one is 3.5%. So let's say if you own $10 worth of that stock, in a year's time, because it's broken up. So the 3.5%, that's what it will be in a total. So in a year's time, you will make $3.53 on top of your original $10. That's without the share. That's if the share price were to stay even the whole time. So in that $3.53, you divide it by 4. That's how they will pay you out quarterly. So whatever, let's round it up to 4 just to make it easy math. So you'll make $4, right? So the first quarter you'll make $1, second quarter you make 2, third you make 3, not 3 extra, meaning in total. So you make $1 per quarter until it adds up to $4, which would be 4%. Excuse me, I said 4%. 4% of $10 is not $4. It's 40 cents. Excuse me. I don't know why I said that shit. But anyways, so it would be 40 cents. You'll make 40 cents in this situation. So they don't see us as people. That's the crazy thing though. You said they don't see us as people, but it's like they're damaging themselves too. Imagine you making a product to make money that's not only harming the people you're selling it to, but it's causing harm overall. That's going to also harm you and your family. You know what I'm saying? That's asinine. I don't understand what's wrong with them. But anyways, so if I was y'all, I would definitely try to get some shares of this particular thing. Especially, let me see. I'm trying to see if it had any spikes like during springtime. So in the last 3 months, so in February, okay, year to date. So January 30th, it was at 21. Then it dropped down to 19. And then it started shooting back up. But that drop could have been because of the market was dropping. I would have to look to other, look at the whole stock market as a whole to see. But yeah, it's called KVUE, which is, maybe I'll just put it in the, I'll put it in the description. Stock ticker KVUE owns, okay, Zyrtec. All right, yeah, I'll do that. Let me also, while I got y'all here, let me also research and see who owns Claritin. Owns Claritin. Claritin is owned by Bayer AG. Bayer acquired by Global trademark and prescription rights for Claritin. Okay, so it's owned by Bayer. Bayer, I think, is publicly traded. Is Bayer? Damn, I keep correcting. Traded. Okay, let me see. Oh, hello to everybody who came in too. Emma, you back? I respect it. Thank you. I appreciate you watching. So Bayer is publicly traded as well. Yeah, they pay a dividend of 0.47%. So their dividend is really not that high. The Zyrtec one is better, which is KVUE. But let's see if they have been climbing. And it's only going to get worse. So also things to help with allergies, right? Get local honey from your farmer's market. You want to make sure that you get it in your county every year, every spring. Well, not even spring. Once I see a little bit of pollen, because now if you notice, pollen is coming in a lot earlier because of global warming. It's funny that people still feel that there is no such thing as global warming. That's asinine to me because you can see it, you can feel it. Also, you know, the seasons are kind of changing a little bit. If you notice, like the seasons are starting earlier. I will spring is starting damn near in February now. Like I see pollen in February. I've seen it as early as mid-February. What the hell is pollen doing in mid-February? There should be nothing blossoming or anything like that. Blooming, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, so as soon as I start to see it, about a week later, I'm waiting, and then I go to the local farmers market and I pick up some honey, and the honey has to be in your county. You don't want honey coming from somewhere else. You want it to be as close to you as possible. That always helps me with allergies. A lot of people don't like honey. If you can't take it, then you got to figure out something else to do. But I don't take Claritin or any of that stuff. That's one thing that you could do. Constantly, like once you come from outside, make sure you wash your face. You take those clothes off. Try to wash them as soon as possible. What else? Damn, I had some other things. I forgot some of the stuff already. But yeah, you definitely want to wash. If you could get like filtration systems, fans that might, filtrate the air in your home. Try to try not to go outside on drier days, especially if it's windy. I mean, these are little tips I'm sure y'all probably know, but in case you don't, the drier and windier day is gonna be a lot more, especially if it rained. Maybe let's say if it rains today and then like 2 days from now it's gonna be windy and dry, and the sun is out, the flowers and stuff gonna be blooming. I mean, the trees, all that, everything is going to go crazy. So you're gonna have a lot of pollen that you're breathing in during that time. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know how we could get these female trees to be planted more often. I don't know. I'm not into politics like that to figure out how to get it done. But till next time, I hope some of those tips help. The honey thing always works for me, but stay off the Claritin and stuff if you can. But if you're gonna be on it, you might as well invest in it. If you're taking Zyrtec, you might as well invest in it. Since you got to spend your money on it anyways, at least some of that money will come back to you. Till next time, peace.